All right, you guys, I wanted to give you a little tour of all of the Floret original zinnias that we're going to have in our upcoming seed pre-order sale that is happening on Tuesday, the 9th, and it's going to run through the 19th, and it starts at 9 a.m. PST. Everybody's asking. But there are lots of questions about what's the difference between each of the varieties, so I thought I would just show them all to you so you can kind of get a better sense. Okay, so I had to make the little tags because I thought if I got nervous, I might forget their names. So, okay, this is where it all started. So this is a variety called Golden Hour, and of all of them, it is my favorite. I know you guys tease me about saying everything's my favorite, but it really is. So this was the very first variety. I discovered one plant, one rogue plant in a big patch of zinnias. I saved seed off of it. And through the process of refining it over about 5 years, I really learned a lot about flower breeding. So they have, it has large kind of melony, peach, kind of buff flowers. There's a bit of a range of colors in there. And then as the flowers get older, or once September comes, you can see there's some pinking on the petals. So it takes on this like kind of cranberry dusting, which complements the cranberry eyes really well. So it's a mix of fully double large flowers and then some that have more of a semi-double form. So that's Golden Hour. I love it. And it's a very big bushy plant. Now this is Alpenlow. I would say probably number 2 fave, but just be warned, we have very little seed of this available this year. We're gonna increase it in future years, but this one will likely sell out really fast. So don't get your heart set on it. But we wanted to make the seed we have available. But Alpenlow is similar in size to Golden Hour, and it actually came out of Golden Hour. But the flowers are this really unusual kind of iridescent peach with a lavender wash, and then they have more of a purple eye. And flowers start out kind of a softer peach, and then as they age, they take on more pink, and then some of them are two-toned. So that one is a real beauty. So if you can't snag Alpenlow, I would say number 2 would be to get Precious Metals. We have lots of seed for this available. Now, Precious Metals is a mix that includes some that look similar to Golden Hour, some that look similar to Alpenlow, and then we've got other colors in there, like I would call this linen. We have a really pretty, there's some more linen, kind of an icy, blushy lavender. So it is a mix of large flowers in fully double form, semi-double, and then occasional singles. But Precious Metals, it's all pastel colors, and they're big, they're beautiful. Plants are bulky and chunky, and they just crank out the flowers. Okay, so now we're taking a little shift. So this is a variety called Little Flower Girl, and it is mostly single or semi-double flowers. This is the absolute favorite if you're wanting to attract pollinators into your garden. So you'll find some fully double flowers in there, but lots of them have kind of a more pronounced cone, and they have so many flowers on the plants. They're just super bushy, but it's a mix of blush and peach and kind of a really pretty soft buff, and you get kind of a range in between. It's great for wedding work, really long stems. The plants are very tall for the size of the flower, and the pollinators go absolutely crazy. And this and Golden Hour were the very first varieties that we released, along with Unicorn, which I'll show you. But this one was also my great-grandmother who got me into flowers. She nicknamed me her Little Flower Girl. And so as kind of a tribute to her, that's where the name for this one came from. So if you like smaller flowers, if they're easier to work with, or you want a super productive variety, this is called Victorian Wedding. So if you hold it up against Little Flower Girl, so there are more fully double blooms in there. It's still a pastel range, but it includes more colors than Little Flower Girl does. The flowers are larger, but the reason we called it Victorian Wedding is because it has this real antiqued quality to many of the flowers. They have almost kind of like a sun-bleached or sort of worn out, faded look to them, and it's really nice when you are doing wedding work and flower arranging. And of all the zinnias that we're offering, this produces the most flowers per plant, and the plants are really stocky and bulky. You could grow it in containers, but it's plenty tall to grow out in the field. But this one is a total workhorse. And then we move on to Unicorn. So this is the one bright guy in the mix, and it is a beautiful range of all kinds of really unusual flowers. So a lot of them have 2 or 3 tones. they're kind of psychedelic almost. So you will get the occasional single, semi-doubles, and then lots of fully doubles, and they just have really unusual coloring. So this is kind of the base for where we're going if you watched last month's vlog with Chris's rainbow. And so we have all kinds of spin-offs coming out of this mix. We don't have a ton of seed for this one, so if you want it, you're going to want to get that one early, but we have some. So hopefully the folks that want it are going to be able to get it. Okay, so those are all the varieties that are coming from our farm. These are all seed that we also grew and produced, but they're for our friend Corey at Dawn Creek. So Corey's a flower breeder down in California, and we have been pals for a lot of years. And she works on, her flowers have kind of a different look and feel, but we're both very into pastels. So this is what we call Dawn Creek Blush. And it's a mix. You can see it has, a lot of the flowers have kind of a semi-cactus form. They're a range of semi-double to fully double flowers. You'll get the occasional tufted one in there, but it's all kinds of shades of soft pink and blush. Plants are very vigorous. They are heavily branching. They just crank out the flowers. So these are Corey's, and we have permission to grow them, and we're working in partnership to help release her varieties in a larger quantity. Now this is a mix of hers. So this is, blush one. This is Dawn Creek Peach. So it is a pretty wide range. I would say you're going to find some that are kind of buff colored. You're going to find some tufted ones that are kind of more orangey peach. You'll have ones that are kind of a softer peach, and then they take on that kind of cranberry dappling as it gets into September. And then we've got ones that are more cactusy. And this is a really pretty range. And if you're wanting to do some flower breeding or start to practice and learn, there's a lot of diversity in this mix, so you might find some stuff that you really like. And then this is another mix of hers that we call Dawn Creek Honey. And so let me hold it up against. So here's peach, and you can see how it's kind of a pinkier peach. And then this is honey, which is more buff. So that's the difference between them. Not everybody loves this color palette, but man, I do. So you're going to find a range of different shapes and sizes, but all of them have kind of a cactus-like quality. And there will be some tufted ones in there, some fully double, some singles. But this one's really fun if you're looking for that color palette. I love this one. And then the last one is what we call Dawn Creek Pastels. So if you are interested in doing any kind of flower breeding, or you love the weirdos and you want to like play and want to start messing around with kind of figuring out how zinnias work, this is the mix to get. So what we did is so originally Corey shared seed with me, and since we've grown out her mixes, I've found a bunch of different varieties that I'm working on that were originated from her mixes. And so all of the leftover seed for those breeding lines, we actually mixed it all together, and that is what's going to be Dawn Creek Pastels. So if you got it before, this is a different mix than it was before. So you're gonna find all kinds of crazy stuff, but there should be a high percentage of tufted flowers. Of course, you'll have singles and semi-doubles, you'll have cactuses, but you'll get all kinds of colors from pink to watermelon to peach to buff to yellow. I mean, it's going to be a really great range. So if you're at all interested in starting to play with breeding or wanting to make zinnia selections, I would definitely score the pastels mix. And we have a decent amount of seed, not as much as some of the others, but I would grab that one. So, okay, one more time. Dawn Creek Pastels, Dawn Creek Honey, or should I hold them out? What looks best? Dawn Creek Honey. We've got Dawn Creek Peach, Dawn Creek Blush, Unicorn, just pouring water everywhere, Victorian Wedding. We've got Little Flower Girl. We've got Precious Metals. Look at that one, so good, I love it. The reason Precious Metals has the metal name is that the flowers, as they age, take on kind of a metallic quality. We have Alpenlow, just a little bit of seed, so if you need a substitute, again, go for Precious Metals. And then Golden Hour, where it all started. So seed is going to be available starting on the 9th at 9 a.m. PST, and then we are going to be open for pre-orders until the 19th. So it's only 10 days, and then we're going to take pre-orders, and then we'll go to packing seed and everything, and it'll ship out in early to mid-February. So it's a different way than we've ever done it before, but I'm really excited because we're trying to find a way where we can balance seed production, seed sales, and breeding here on the farm and the rhythm of it all. So thank you guys for being so excited about this sale and trying a new way with us. Yeah, and I can't wait to share these beauties with you.